WIBTA by not telling a guy I've been dating for a month that I'm having artificial insemination to be a single mother. Prior to lockdown, I'd decided to be a single mother by choice. The journey to accepting this has taken 2 years, and included counseling and a very thorough plan to ensure I could do this alone. I was happy with my decision, and I was at a good place in life where I realized my desire to be a mother was stronger than looking for a partner, which may or may not happen. And with my fertility declining, I chose to go down this path as a solo woman. Right before I was due to have artificial insemination with donor sperm, the pandemic hit, and treatments were canceled. There was no timeline for when things may reopen. For a few days I was devastated as I was so mentally prepared for this, and then I picked myself up and decided to park my plan. After all, I didn't have a choice. I downloaded a dating app out of curiosity and figured that I could still chat to guys and see what happened, without any expectation really. I've been talking with a guy, let's call him G, and it's only been a month. So very early stage. However, we've met up twice, with a third meeting planned, spoken many times on the phone, and I get a really good feeling from him. For the first time in years, quite frankly, I feel emotionally connected with a man, and it feels completely natural and promising. During this time, my clinic called me to say they have had approval to open, and do I wish to go ahead this month with my treatment. I want to be a mother more than ever, so I said yes, and I'm now on medication with my appointment set for next week. While there's no guarantee I'll get pregnant on the first go, I have a conflict in my mind about informing G of my plan. On the one hand, it's at such an early stage of a romance without yet being anything committed that I feel like I'm bringing something up prematurely. On the other hand, I wonder what may happen as time goes on. Am I just delaying the inevitable? Is it deceptive of me not to inform him of something so fundamental in my life? A friend told me that I'd sabotage a potential relationship with him by telling him of this plan right now, and that a man who is really into me will accept me even if I'm pregnant, and that more time is needed for him to really get to know me. But in my mind I'm wondering if it will piss him off by suddenly saying, "Hey, I'm pregnant, BTW. We've spoken loosely about wanting kids in the future, so I know he'd like a family," but it was a brief, passing comment. I'm also not willing to wait to get into a long-term relationship, and we are far too early on to be thinking about a family together. WIBTA by keeping quiet about the plan for now? Sorry, but you are the wrong one. This is very important information that you should share so he can make a decision as to whether they want to build a relationship with you. Before it was just you, now you are involving another person, who honestly you really don't need at all if your primary goal is just to have a child. You should let him know while it's still early in the process and he's not that attached. Waiting would be trapping them. Is it deceptive of me not to inform him of something so fundamental in my life? But in my mind I'm wondering if it will piss him off by suddenly saying, "Hey, I'm pregnant, BTW. We've spoken loosely about wanting kids in the future, so I know he'd like a family," but it was a brief, passing comment. WIBTA by keeping quiet about the plan for now? Of course unless you've made it perfectly clear to him that he is just a casual hookup and you have no future plans with him. All of the above screams out like obviously you would be the a-hole if you withhold that info now and just dump it on him later. Update. A month ago I was told I WBTA for not telling a date about my plans to be a single mother, so I told him. Original post. Link 1 in description. A month ago I asked if I WBTA for not telling a guy I had only started dating that I had plans to become a single mother. I was scared I'd lose him, but also felt I would be deceiving him by not telling him, thus making the investment in our relationship unfair. The comments were pretty much unanimous in that I'm an a-hole, and I needed to tell him, and this validated my decision to go forth and be honest, as nervous as I was. I explained my situation about taking 2 years to come to this decision, how my fertility clinic had shut due to the pandemic, which was why I had gone back onto dating apps. I explained how my clinic had reopened after meeting him, and how important it was to me to continue in my journey to become a mother. I knew this was baggage he hadn't expected and that there was every chance he would step away from the situation. Well, he didn't. We're now in a committed relationship and he's been supporting me in my journey. I've had 2 unsuccessful artificial inseminations with donor sperm, my original plan, and we've spoken about having a child together. As early on as it may seem, he told me my honesty made him consider his own future and how he really wants a family someday, and how he has admiration for me being honest about my situation and how he wants to help me fulfill my desires to be a mother, whether with him or with donor sperm. Either way he wants to be a part of my life. I wanted to provide this update as a positive outcome has come out of being labeled an a-hole, and it pushed me to do the right thing, which has in turn meant I have the most understanding and accepting BF. Had I kept this info from him it would have played on my conscience, as well as most likely have caused him to not trust me. So thank you. Edit. Gosh, I didn't think this post would blow up in this way. Thanks for the lovely words of support, and also those of you taking the time to provide food for thought of co-parenting and step-parenting. This is new territory for me, and I don't know anyone else in my day-to-day life who has been in this situation, so it's so valuable for me to hear your views and gain new perspectives. Thank you, kind Reddit community. Someone who actually took their judgment and came out for the better. Smile. Congrats op, not the wrong one. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad it worked out positively. Hope you both have a happy beautiful family and good luck on your journey. Update: am I the wrong one for refusing to sell the place I bought with stripper money? Quick recap on my first post, linked to in description. I spent several years working as a stripper, at the end of which I was able to buy my own flat. I'd been with my boyfriend for about 18 months, and I'm currently around 3 months pregnant. With the news of the baby incoming, my boyfriend said he wanted me to sell my place so we could use the money to get a new place together, and when I refused he called me irrational. I thought I was DA because of that, plus my sister sided with him. Now for the update, because a lot of people asked for one. First off, I dumped him. He initially said that he doesn't want to be a parent if we're not a couple, but earlier this week he told me he wants majority custody, so not only does he not have to pay child support, but if he gets majority then I end up paying him. He actually said that was his reasoning. He also runs his own startup, and admitted the startup is basically done for, and he was hoping that when I sold my place I could also put a cash injection into his business with the money. So basically this was all about money for him, and I have extensive documentation of all of this. There's going to be a legal case, but I've gotten legal advice, and it looks like I'll be able to get sole custody, which is what I intend to go for. In the last couple weeks, my sister has doubled down and is trying to get me to fix things with my ex because a baby should have a complete family, so I've not been involving her in my pregnancy, which she is furious about. She also told our parents, which I am furious about, so we're not speaking right now. I also want to say thank you to everyone who commented on my first post. When I first posted, between my boyfriend and my sister, I was genuinely convinced I was in the wrong, so to have such an overwhelmingly supportive response really helped me realize that I shouldn't doubt myself so much. And with that realization, plus everything going on right now, I've decided to go to therapy, which I will be starting next week. All in all, the outcome of this is probably going to be me being a single mother in the flat I own. And honestly, pretty decent outcome. I have to call crap to the baby needs a complete family. A kid can have a mom and dad and still have a dysfunctional family. Single parent, two parent, parents of the same sex, it doesn't matter. Your ex sounds controlling and a leech. All the reasons he wants to be together or be a father are more for his benefit. Good luck to you, OP, and your baby. It might be a long road ahead, but you can do this. You've made it this far. Awesome. I think people picked up pretty quickly what your BF was about, but I'm honestly puzzled by your sister's attitude. Am I the wrong one for walking out on a double date my friend set up with him, his girlfriend, and a girl I had already rejected before? I feel like I need to say this for this post not to be removed. This is not about the date, about relationships or something. I want a judgment on me walking out of there. Cast: me, 25 years old male, Joe 26 years old male, Jane 24 years old female. To give you a little background to this situation, I met Jane through Joe's girlfriend at her birthday party last year. At first Jane was fun to talk to, but not even an hour later Jane was really into me and tried really badly to hit on me during the party, which pretty much ruined my time there as the feeling was not mutual in the slightest bit. Also at the time I was already with someone. So the first impression I got from Jane was that she was clingy, annoying, and just wouldn't stop bothering me. Unfortunately for me, she became part of my larger friend group because she is part of Joe's girlfriend's friend group that is a mouthful, sheesh, and because me and Joe hang out a lot and I am also friends with his girlfriend, I pretty much run into her at minimum twice a month. So first time Jane asked me out was a month after that party. I informed her I was with someone and not interested. She tried again 2 months later when I broke up with my then girlfriend. Again I declined her advances and told her I was not interested. I got into a new relationship not long after, but unfortunately she and I broke up about 2 months ago. Since then, as you might have anticipated, Jane has asked me out again. I said no again. Well, that brings us to this week. Everything has been opening up here and Joe had been trying to fix me up with a friend of his girlfriend and would not tell me who. He is well aware of me having rejected Jane multiple times and the fact I am not interested in her. He knows this in detail. After a lot of what he calls convincing and I call whining, I had no interest in dating anytime soon. I relented and decided to agree to this double date idea of his. We agree on meeting at Joe's apartment and lo and behold, Joe His girlfriend and Jane are occupying the dinner table, obviously intending for my date to be Jane. I honestly just got so goddamn angry that I couldn't even get a single word out, turned around and left. I have been bombarded with texts and calls about how much of a douche I am and how terribly I hurt Jane and so on, and I am just like, I literally rejected her like 3 times. I am not interested in her. You knew that. Your girlfriend knew that. Our entire friend group has a running joke about obsessive Jane FFS, so literally everyone knows it. So am I the a-hole? Not the wrong one, but your friend obviously is. Setting someone up with someone who rejected that person is cruel, not the fact that you turned around. I would honestly done the same. Not the wrong one. You've made your feelings more than clear to Jane and your friend as well. You had every right to leave, as you had already rejected her 3 times and still she set herself up for rejection number 4. You're not responsible for her hurt feelings at this point. Your friend should have known better than to blindside you with a date with someone he knows full well you have zero interest in. Though if I might venture a guess, I'd say that the double date was 100% Jane's and your friend's girlfriend's idea, and your friend most likely just got pressured into convincing you to come. Update: am I the wrong one for walking out on a double date my friend set up with him, his girlfriend and a girl I had already rejected before? It has been a little under 2 months and I have received quite a few requests to make an update over the past 9 or so weeks. Looking at you Snoo Chipmunks 3950, at first I was going to make one a week or 3 ago, but I decided against it and instead chose to wait till I had some proper updates. But well, here goes. Previous post, link 3 in description. At any rate, like I said, here goes. It turns out that some of the more pessimistic of you were right. Jane was being obsessive and stalkerish and it sort of all came tumbling down on her at that point. A week or so after I made my post she decided to message me. Well, it came down to her not understanding why I was showing interest in her and then refused to date her. I never showed interest in her beyond basic friendliness. A wall of text dedicated to thrashing my previous relationships and calling them all sorts of names, specifically pointing out how I dated the wrong girls and a weird rant about how everyone agreed me and her were meant to be, which just isn't the case. Like I said in my previous post, there is a running joke in our friend group about how weird she is. Now, you might think this is something that can be expected, something that just happens, an outlet for her of sorts, except, she sent it from the wrong account. See, I had become internet friends with a person in the past month or 2. Me and her would game together, chat from time to time, you know, the usual organic internet friend situation, and the messages concerning outdate were sent from this account. Turns out she had literally used this alias to infiltrate my internet friend group and keep tabs on me of sorts. Obviously this freaked me the F out. I took screenshots of what she had sent me and afterwards blocked all accounts that I knew now she was using. I followed that up by sharing everything in our friend Discord and in our friend WhatsApp group, so everyone could see, which resulted in her being kicked from both. And I later got a call from Joe full on apologetic, telling me he had no idea and he knew he shouldn't have done it, but that his girlfriend was being pressured by Jane. Turned out, Jane had literally been bishing at her for months to arrange something like this and she finally caved. Again, creepy stuff. I told him that I needed some time as he really screwed me over big time and I didn't trust him anymore as a result. While Jane has been shunned by all friends, she still contacted me twice, once to apologize, which quickly turned into weird crap where she started talking about us. She seems convinced there is an us and I am interested, and another time just to curse at me, both from random accounts. I am not sure where to go from here and I am still pretty shook up. Whoa, she's definitely a wacko dude, definitely dodged a massive bullet. Keep all the screenshots and if required file a restraining order if it escalates. Egads, you have a real-life stalker. No fun or sarcasm intended. Make sure your home and technology are seriously locked down. People have too much time in their hands. Thank you all for listening. Have a great day. See you later.